Okay. Hey, can you hear me? Sorta, kinda. You need to hear me, so like I need to know that you can hear me. Yes? You can hear me, Noah? Yes, you can hear me here, because this is important that you hear me, and I'm not just talking. All right, so let's get this going. First of all, I appreciate you guys being here. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm Coach Matt. I'm the owner, I'm the founder, I'm the guy, right? So what we're going to do tonight is kind of go through our entire system. All right, this is important for you, and it's important for you because it's important for our kids. All right, here's the whole thing I'm going to tell you with some rules. Number one, pay attention. You may not catch all of this, but that's not the point. All right, at least you'll have an understanding of kind of the step-by-step process that this whole program is. Right, because the problem that we see with coaches when we have new coaches come in, it has nothing to do with your coaching ability. Like, you know the game, that's all good. It's just this thing's moving 1,000 miles an hour, and you think new to you means new to them. And then that ends up being a problem because our retention is 9 years. Right, like literally I could point out coaches that came through the program, so when you step in and you think it's new, it's not. So we have to catch you up to where the kids are. That's a little bit different. Does that make sense? Thumbs up, yes? Awesome, because I just need to know you can hear me, all right? Or you're gonna make the mistake of, holy shit, this is too much, and then you're gonna get intimidated. Either one is wrong, okay? I just need you to try to understand and take away our principles. That's really the only thing I want you to take away. I'm gonna show you a whole lot, okay? But I'm not gonna keep you here all night. You gotta understand, there's 14 years of development and all that I'm gonna try to give to you, and I'm gonna stay very shallow. I'm not gonna go deep, okay? What I need you to do, coaches, is not turn into the naysayer and the critic. The yeah, but you could, yeah, but what about this? Ooh, but you got this option too. Oh, I know, all right? I know. I do clinics literally all over the world. That's the first thing I have to tell coaches, put your ego outside, relax. There's 1,000 different ways that this can happen. I recognize that. You know basketball, it's all good. All right, just listen, learn what it is to be here, because this is gonna help you do your job better. Easy enough? Okay, winning, that goes without saying here. I'm not really concerned about winning, people. I'm not concerned about winning. We win a lot in this program. I'm not concerned with it, okay? There has to be substance to what we do. If they end up leaving a whole season and they're like, oh, we won some games, we lost some games, and that was it, we didn't do our job collectively. And I'm gonna show you how everybody to your left and right has to do their job for this thing to continue to go. It's all connected, all right? It's more of a European, American model. It's not just so like, oh, you got a team and just go. So I'm gonna take you literally from our youth academy all the way up to high school, because high school, you can't just start at high school. You need to know what you're coming from, right? And youth, you need to understand what you're building towards, because everybody has a job that they have to get accomplished. You're gonna win games. You have to win games. I'm not saying don't try to win games. I'm just saying in this program, there has to be some substance to it, otherwise people ain't coming back. Thumbs up? Awesome. Development's a heavy word. So understand development could be dribble, pass, and shoot. Development could be time, score. Development could be IQ. Development has a heavy word to unpack, okay? I need to start you at the bottom, and then we go from there. All right, we good? Perfect, okay. So here's what has to happen. Get those and hand those out, and I got you. Here we go. You are free to take notes as much as you can. Spread out, chill out, get comfortable. But also, let's act like this is a coaching clinic, and let's not be on our phones. Let's not be checking messages. Let's act professional, please. Okay, so what you're getting is one angle of our business model. So when I was 26, this is the shit that I came up with, right? And I can't start you at teams until you understand what teams sit on. And teams sit on our development system here. So I have to tell you what our development system is and show you how that plugs into principle, how our principles then plug into offenses, and then you'll understand how this goes. Okay? So we're gonna start with just some basic skill stuff. The point is not to show you these skill moves, how we break down skill moves. I just need to show you these 5 so I can plug into principles, so I can plug into actions, so then I can plug into an offense. Because what you guys want to go into is like, what's the offense? What's the offense? We don't care about the offense. It's what the offense is rooted in. And our offense is rooted in principles. That's why our kids look different. That's what your goal is on trying to get them to play. Okay, so here we go. Y'all come out here. First one you're doing, I just want you to do a ja. Throw, step, go, in for a layup. We got it? Just start high 45, with just throw, step, go, going that way for a layup. So all we're doing right now is a basic attack move, throw, step, go, they're going to finish. Go, 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 boom, throw, step, and they go. Let's go, boom, throw, step, and push. Good, let's go. Yes. So one of the ways that we teach skill is you have to be able to beat somebody off the dribble. There's a lot of creative moves that we're going to teach them. This is just one of the moves that we might teach. Right? There's nothing crazy about it. Now, this is done in principle, but I'm going to start getting into what the principles look like after this, right? It's just very simple, just a throw, step, go. Because one of the ways that we have to beat somebody, create an advantage, is off the dribble. Stop. Cool. Stop. An attack move. Very simple, right? Beat your person, and now you create an advantage. Easy enough, right? Okay, so now the next thing is we have to be able to beat the second line of defense. You beat your man, now all of a sudden somebody's gonna help, right? Simple enough, okay? So do the same move. Hey, TP, stand here. And I want you to do it this way, go over the top. He's just gonna stand right here, just going over the top. So CJ beats his man, TP's right here. Stay there. He's on offense, I'm on defense, he does this, okay? He's got to be able to get through this. That's one of the ways we're going to teach him to get through the second line of defense, right? So I want you to go over the top. I want you to cuff. No, I want you to go James Harden under. I want you to go over the top, you to cuff, over the top, over the top. Easy enough, stand right here. I got to stack this skill real quick so then I can get you to the teams. Go. Same attack move, get through this defender, he goes under, go. Same attack move, another way, he goes over the top. Same attack move, he kind of cuffs through. Boom, over the top, let's go, over the top. Yes, go again, go, hurry up. Boom, picks it up low, that's one of the ways. Yes, good. Yes, keep going. Yes, one more, go. Good, yes, I'll take it, yes, keep going. Yes, go. Good, yes, good, awesome, yes, good, stop. Now do the same move, do the same one, now just do a spin back to finish. Do a spin back to finish. Yeah, so you're gonna pick up, do the same first move, do the same second move, third move, spin back, boom, and finish. Go. Yes, boom, go, good. Now we're on finishing moves. We do attack moves, and now we finish. Attacks, and then we finish. Attacks, and then we finish. Attacks, and then we finish. Do it again. Go. Same thing. Boom, finishes. Go. Yes, good, yes, good, yes, good, yes, good. Stop. Cool. So understand, we beat somebody off the dribble. We can get through the second line of defense. We got some way to finish. What I'm telling you is the majority of the kids that you're going to train with are already back there with us all fall. So they're coming to you with all of this stuff already. At different age levels, they have different variations of it, right? Step up in triple threat. Let's go with a shot fake, jab, boom, and go to a 2-dribble pull-up. So now we're attacking a closeout. So we're in a closeout situation, out of triple threat, shot fake jab, drive baseline, 1, 2, pull up, go. Shot fake jab, 1, 2, pull up. So now we're teaching them to attack closeouts. So we teach you to get off the bounce. We're going to teach you to get through that second line of defense. We're going to teach you finishing moves. Now we're going to teach you how to attack a closeout. right? So those are different ways, and this is all the ways you need to create angles and advantages. Boom, yes, good, let's go. Yes, jab, thank you. CJ, stop. Same thing, take it to a step back now. Same thing. Last way of skill, create space. Easy enough, go. Same move, boom, create space, yes, go. Now there's 1,000 different ways. We could dead leg, we could pull back, we could do all these different ways to create space. We teach all of these different things at different age levels, but this is all the stuff that we're going to end up teaching them. Stop, stop. Okay, look at your charts. We're at skill. What's the next thing above skill? What is it? Awesome. 3 of you here. Three of you with a ball here. 2 of you without. Ladies go together, it's fine, and fellas go together. You don't have a ball, you do have a ball, Kylie. Kylie, you have a ball. Kylie, you have a ball. Lou, you don't have a ball. Kylie, you have a ball over here. So just boys go with boys, girls go with girls, right? Easy enough, so just don't go with somebody's up. All right, so now we go into principles, okay? There's different principles we're gonna teach. So from top attack, we're gonna tell the ball handler, you have to drive in between the lane lines. Can everybody hear me? Good, because I don't like microphone shit. You have to drive in between the lane lines. When we're doing skill, we're gonna tell them drive with the shoulder, all of that stuff. So the little jow move they were doing, we'd be emphasizing driving with your shoulder because basketball's played on a straight line, right? We have to do that because if Andrew's right here, and this is exactly why we stack this. Let's just say Kylie was just coming this way and she drives outside the lane line, stop. One person can guard 2. That's a problem, right? So we're gonna teach them to drive inside the lane line because now this happens, all of a sudden now you become a playmaker. So we have to build them on that, but that's a principle that we're gonna teach, okay? So right here, they're gonna do it on this side. We're gonna tell them to stay shot ready, stay outside the 3-point line. There's a whole bunch of rules that we have on how you have to get away. But right now, if you go watch high school basketball, this is a problem. They drive into a phone booth, there's one way in, one way out. Nobody played without the basketball, it's a problem. Right? So our kids don't have that problem. They know how to play with and without the ball because of the skill and the principle that they've been taught. So it would look like this. They drive here, go, boom, she passes it, boom, she backpedals out. Next one steps up, she'd shoot, boom, they're coming in here, boom, boom. We teach them to mark the court. They got to drive to this spot. If you drive underneath this, it's over penetration. Right? We drive to the second hash, then all of a sudden you could be a playmaker. Boom, we're going, she's going this way, boom, pass, she backpedals out, go, boom, we're going this way, boom. Ladies, you're up again. Kylie, you're up. You can shoot the ball. So they do this drill since 4th grade. This drill never stops at M14. From 4th grade all the way up because these are principles that stack into our offense. Stop. Awesome. CJ, take the ball. CJ, take the ball. Luke, go here. Another principle. When we drive middle, we drive under the elbow. We don't drive above it. Same reasons, right? We're not driving to help. What you guys weren't paying attention to maybe is when they were doing their first move, everything they did was under the elbow. Because all of them have come through the program, so it's on autopilot now. Right? So when they go to college, their coaches ain't gonna have to teach them that. They already know what they're doing. I didn't have to emphasize it. They grew up here, they know what it is. So same thing, so I might layer some skill and say, hey, shot fake, whatever, and come this way. It doesn't matter. You can layer skill in the principle, it's fine, right? We'll just go off a rip. 2 dribbles, we're telling Luke he's got to get to the corner, boom. That's another principle we teach. We also clap when shots go in here. That never stops. Awesome, cool. Now, let me stop and tell you guys this. The reason why that's important is because our kids learn culture. That's not an ego trip, it's about culture. It's not that this is the same culture they'll go to in high school or in college. It's just that our kids know how to buy into a culture. Yes, coach. No, coach. Clap. Do that. If you've ever been to a college practice, it's full of culture. So we need to get our kids prepared for that. So that doesn't start when they get to this age. That starts in 4th grade here, right? And then by the time they start getting older, when they go to high school, and all of a sudden now we got a varsity coach here, and our kids step up, and there's 60 kids there, how are they supposed to step up and make the team? Everybody ain't the best shooter. Everybody ain't the best ball handler. How you gonna make the team? right? So we have to make sure that, sure, we got the kids that are really, really good, but what about everybody else? Do we understand? So even the really, really goods and the really, really bad, you still got to know culture. So that's why that's very important, and you have to exemplify that as coaches here. We're driving middle, boom, under the elbow, we get there, shoots the ball, bang, let's go, drives middle, we get there. Now, we have all of these different rules, stop, about when you should leave, how you should drive, how you should go. That's in our skill sessions, right? Don't leave until the second dribble, don't do this, don't do that. But we teach them all that stuff, right? Those are principles, but again, if I wanted them to do any of the skill moves into this principle, we could. Does that make sense? Easy enough. Another principle, baseline drive, baseline drift. Another principle, right? We're always going to teach these principles to our kids all the time. We're going here. Yes, boom, principle, easy enough. Stop. That's another principle, okay? So just those basic principles, and I'm gonna show you how this stuff stacks in together. Now, we go to 3-man, just give me the fellas. One ball. Ball here, there, there. Now we can start to introduce skill into action, into principle. So real simple, we're just gonna go a handoff, Luke's gonna drive middle, and then he's gonna go there. Do it again. Can I get a coach to rebound? Can you rebound? Kylie, rebound. Get your handoff at the 45. So there's all these ways we're gonna break down a handoff. Hey, you have to take the defender out, right? If we're really being smart basketball players. CJ has to drive at me, and he's gotta take me out and then turn this way to take me out, because now I can't do anything. We're gonna teach them all those different things on just actions, right? Handoffs, pin downs, all of these different actions we're gonna teach them, right? But these actions plug into principle. Do a shot fake, skill, action, handoff, principle, drive and kick. Skill into action into a principle. And we're gonna do a lot of 3-man sets on that, right? And there's a lot of different ways we could do all that. We could pass, screen away, we could curl, whatever it might be. Pass it here, screen away there. Curl, Evan, curl, curl, boom, don't pass it to him. Leave it out this way, drive the ball. Where do you go? Boom. There's a lot of different ways and different things we'll do with them to start helping them understand how to move without the ball and how to play. There's a billion different scenarios that we'll come up with, right? Pass and cut, empty, fill, catch it, drive and kick, runs back into it. So in practices or in skill sessions, we're gonna give them these things. This is what skill sessions look like with us. That's what just destroyed Europe's mind. Europe couldn't understand that. They invited me over because they thought I was gonna get some tennis balls and start doing shit like this the whole time and all the shit you see on YouTube. Yes, that is skill training. I'm not saying that that's not. But I made a decision to go towards translation and not just keep on skilling and skilling and skilling and skilling. Because how was that gonna help him out? How was that gonna help him out? What was that gonna do for her? What about her? Because I'll change her entire life in basketball. But it had to be more than just how do you apply the shit that you're doing in a game. That's the toughest thing for any player, right? Like, yo, I got all this skill, how's it work in a game? And it doesn't matter what offense you're running, it's gonna come back into these principles, period. Just you break down the game, it's gonna run back into whatever action you're doing goes into these drive and kick kind of principles. That's the secret, right? Okay, cool, give me 4. Just give me one lady out here too. Cool, Lou, you here. Start here, start here, start there, start there. Awesome. So we'll go handoff, pin down, boom, we pass, reverse, drive, right back into it. Doesn't matter. So why I'm telling you guys this is because when we show you the offense, it doesn't matter. It backs into all these principles. So if you don't take away these principles, you're not going to be able to coach here, because you're not going to be able to determine what's a good shot versus a great shot. You're just going to let them play and you're just going to be like, oh, whatever, cool. You're not going to be able to actually help the kid out. they drove it middle, they took this up, but you didn't tell them like, hey, they were open over there in the corner. We have to get an understanding of these principles before we understand anything. Do we understand that? Okay, so we did skill, right? What was the next thing on the progression? Principles. Yes, you could talk. We're all coaches here. What's the next thing? Principles, right? Okay, so we understand just these basic principles, right? Okay, now we end up having actions and principles. What's the last thing that's at the top? Translation. So that's when we would play 3-on-3, but that's where our teams begin. The problem is nobody comes here understanding everything below. You just think that it starts up here. It doesn't. Shit's deeper here. People want to know like, oh, how'd you build this organization? How'd this get so big? Because of this, and that anchors us. It's not wins and losses. Kids can go anywhere and win and lose. It's because they actually learned something here. And they learned something that's going to transfer. Are you telling me that doesn't work in Proviso West office? They know these principles? Would it work or not? Like a girl came in and she knew where to look. You're not like, oh, wow, that's great. She knows how to move without the ball. You're not going to be like, no, that doesn't work. Okay, our job is to prepare them for where they're going next. So now turn the page. You guys sit down. Welcome to the system. Somebody tell me at 8U, the first thing, what's it say we're trying to get accomplished? Aaron. Learn it and love it. So you got to understand, it's not just one thing happening here. There's multiple things that are going on. We got them skill, and there's age level appropriate skill. There's principle, there's age level appropriate principle. But then there's this other thing that we're trying to get accomplished. 4th and 5th grade, I just want you to learn the game and love it. That's it. I don't care about nothing else. So that means the experience they have is really important. So I would argue that some of you that are coaching 4th and 5th grade, while you sit there and think like, oh man, they got me with a 4th grade team. You're the most important coach here. How are we going to get to them if you don't do your job right? What's the next thing we're trying to get accomplished? And figure out who you are, right? So that's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So our whole system, when you're in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, the first stop is 7th grade. We need you to make the 7th grade team. After that, I need you to be ready for June of 8th grade, because June of 8th grade is when the varsity coaches are looking for who's their incoming freshman. So there's a system here. It's not just everything in its own little box. Now notice I'm talking about school teams, and I'm not talking about my teams, because you have this many travel teams, AAU teams. You have this many high schools. I don't care if they play here or not. I need them to make their school teams. Do we understand what I'm saying? Because that's how we know that we got them better. Because them going to play on another AAU team, y'all not in them muddy waters with us about why this kid chose this program versus that program. This shit don't even make no sense. But making that high school team, making that middle school team, that shit matters, man. I'm not here to argue whether it's good or bad, but I could care less. That shit matters. So our system at first, we need to make the 7th grade team. The next thing is we need to get them to high school. So when they're in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we want you to figure out who you are. So that means coaches sometimes don't have the same person dribbling the ball up the court. I get it. Basketball always is going to find the best player. But sometimes when it's not about winning or losing, have somebody else dribble the ball up the court. Now, I ain't telling you to making 15 turnovers and that. Fuck that. We ain't doing that, right? But damn, sometimes just tell little Johnny or little Susie to get the ball to dribble it up too, because they're in a development stage. Don't pigeonhole them. That's a bad idea, and we don't do that here. So now all of a sudden I'm telling you not just to focus on time and score, actually focus on the kids that are in front of you. Like, hey, this time I'm gonna have you dribble it up the court. It's all good. It's not the end of the world. Once you get to high school, it starts to be a little bit different, right? Because now we got an identity, but we're trying to get them an identity. They don't have one yet in our youth academy. That's why they're here, to try to figure that out. Now, once we get to high school, turn the page. That is not on Google. That is not anywhere else. I made that shit up. That's how we determine who kids are and what they can be. I'm not telling you to memorize that, nor am I giving you permission to say, hey, you're a catch and shoot shooter. I'm not telling you to do any of that. I'm telling you that for us, after the season, when parents contact us and say, hey, how can my kid get better? We have to have a map that my staff has to be able to tell them on where they're going. When they want to do private instruction, it can't just be random skilling and drilling. I have to know who you are. You have to have an identity, and then we can work from there on expanding your game. The way basketball has changed, the European and world influence is everybody has to be skilled now, yes? But everybody still has to have an identity. You being third best at everything just gets you on the bench. You have to be good at something. So in middle school, before they know what it is, some kids it'll be very simple. Oh, this is who you are. But other ones, you just don't know. We train every kid the same. Ray J. Dennis at Baylor turned out to be a pass first kind of point guard. Nigel Pack at Miami turned out to be a shooting point guard. That's how they determine the information. But we have to start guiding them in a way. But once they get to high school, we want you to dominate the game in your way, whatever that might be. So this is the system. That is the skill. That is the principle. Have I lost you? Okay. Now let's just talk about the youth offense. And then I'm going to show you how it plugs back down the ladder. Cool? And then we're going to show you why, hey, by the time they get to this grade level, they should have these things, which gets them ready for high school. Then in high school, we're going to show you what should happen there. And then you'll understand the whole thing. And then we'll give you what you came for with some baseline out of bounds and sideline out of bounds and all that shit too. Cool? Awesome. Yo, stop talking, come out here. 4/5, 50. 50 is the youth offense. Sure.
So 4th and 5th grade level, right? Obviously we're starting a 5-out situation. You're not gonna see us putting people on the blocks because they don't have an identity yet. So everybody's outside the 3 because everybody's trying to show off, dribble, pass, and shoot. No one has an identity, they're trying to learn. So with the offense, we start on down screens, right? They come out from the corners to the 3-point line. We're gonna enter the ball. After we enter the ball, we always screen away first. Obviously you could cut, obviously you could ball screen. But here we screen away first. On the first cut, we all call it the same thing. It's called a butter cut. Our butter cut is the same thing as a curl. So we're curling the first screen automatically to try to get a layup.
B-U-D-D-A. Butter. It's a butter cut. Why is it a butter cut? Because Jet Jones at Plainfield East, when he was in 6th grade and I made the offense up, I said, what do y'all want to call it? And his ass was like, butter. So we called it butter. That's the story. That's it. All right, cool.
Okay, once the butter cut happens, so after CJ screens once, he's going to keep screening, right? The butter cut, you're going to fill out towards ball side, right? So the first action is a butter cut. Second action is going to be a dribble handoff. We want the dribble handoff to happen at the top of the key, right? So Evans coming, hands it to Lou right at the top. Stop. This turns into our first principle is once you get a handoff, you can drive the basketball, right? So once you get the action, she could drive in between the lane lines. We got driving kicks, and we got the whole lane open, right? Come back, ball's here. So first action was a butter cut. Second action is a handoff. If both of those actions don't work, at 4th and 5th grade, we go into another handoff. This handoff should take place at the 45. So we have a handoff at the top of the key, which allows them to drive in between the lane lines. That doesn't work. Our second handoff is at the 45, which allows them to drive underneath the elbow, right? Which in turn goes right into your principle that you guys learned, right? We got drive and kick, drive, kick, one more. We're all good there, all right? Come back.
Coaches, I want you to write down curl, and I want you to write down handoff. Just write it down someplace. Just write curl, write down handoff, write down down screen. Curl, handoff, down screen. Just write that down. Notice with 50, it starts in the 5 places that our principles plug into. So when you have your youth academy team and they're not in the corner or they're not on the 45, that's a problem because you're not following the principles and it's not going to plug in correctly. Go.
Down screen. Yup. Pass the ball. We screen away. First cut's called a butter cut. Here comes the butter. If that's open, we're looking at it. Second cut's a handoff. If not, we have another handoff. Right? Stop. This is important. He understands that he gets in action, and once he gets in action, he gets to be aggressive and try to do something. That's why he's taking the handoff and being like, hey, if I can go in between these lane lines, I'm doing this correctly, right? But there's sometimes you receive a handoff and the guy's right here. Like, it's not gonna work. So that's why he's going into another handoff, okay? Sometimes, hey, in the second handoff, nothing happens. So then he comes back out to here, we reverse the ball again. Once we reverse the ball again, we screen away again. What's the first cut? Butter, there's the butter. He's going ball side. What's second? Handoff. What's third? Handoff. That doesn't work, she's passing the ball. Stop, nice drive. But we're pretending like it doesn't work. It's all good.
So we see the motion and the continuity, right? You see the stuff we're trying to get accomplished. So you as coaches need to figure out how they go score in these areas. This is the time where you tell them to go be aggressive. This is the time you tell them dribble at the defender so you can get your teammate open when you're doing a handoff. This is the time that we look at the butter cut. That's 4th and 5th grade, right? So what do we got? Curl, we got down screens, we got handoffs. We also have drive and kick principles. Please put DNK principles. Now these are strong side principles. These are strong side reads. Cool. Next level.
Okay, once they now turn into 6th grade, the whole idea is 4th and 5th grade, they're playing for our winter teams, then they play for our spring teams, and then it gets to 6th grade. If they're doing the same thing, it seems like it's kind of redundant. They're like, yo, we want more. What's next? Give me the next thing, right? So all we do is we just add one more action onto their offense, right, for that year. So now it's down screen, we pass the ball, the first cut or first screen, we're still doing a butter cut, 6th grade. She keeps screening, the second action is a dribble handoff at the top, stop. After that, we immediately reverse the ball. That triggers, right, our staggered screens. So we had one handoff, after the one handoff, now we have a staggered screen for a shooter coming to the top. If she has a shot, awesome. If she doesn't, she could drive in between the lane lines. If she doesn't, she can pass the ball. Now it's screen away. Now it's a butter. Keep screening, Luke. That's a handoff at the top. On the handoff, we pass the ball. That's a stagger that way. Here she comes. If she has a shot, great. If she doesn't, she reverses the ball. We screen. That's a butter. Keep screening. That's a handoff. Come on. Ball gets passed. That's a stagger. She's running off. Shot comes from the top.
Stop. Right stagger down. Stagger screen. The whole idea as you're writing this for you guys that are coaching in the youth academy is not for us to just do what we call vulturing. Vultures. They just circle around their prey. This offense can turn into vulturing. They just circle around and they just run the play. Unless you tell them to go, tell them to drive, but now you should tell them when they should drive. It should be off of this action, that's when you should be aggressive. When they come to the sideline, hey, off that first handoff, that's when you could have drove it, right? And then when they make a mistake, hey, what happened? Who helped? That should have been your kick. That's doing the job, and that's helping them actually not just get exposed to the information, but actually learning it. Because when they came off the stagger and she's open, if she drives it, now we got driving kicks. All good, we're back into it. If she makes a mistake and passes it to CJ, and then he shot fakes and jabs baseline, that's a skill, he drives it. That's a principle. That's gonna happen in basketball. So even when shit breaks down and it's a problem, and all of a sudden CJ made a mistake and he just reversed it to Kylie. Drive baseline, Kylie, go, go, go. Like, just right into principles. We don't need to say, come back, set it up, set it up. No, put them into principles. Ball movement, player movement, drive it, kick it. because we just anchor in principles and skills. If Lou was getting cut off at the right elbow driving, change direction. Hey, and we're right back into now another principle. You have to help them with that though. They're not gonna know it. Because as much as I'm gonna tell you like, oh, they're skilling and they're doing that, they're 10 years old. They're 11 years old. They're 12 years old. That's why you're here. That's what we need your help with, to help them know how to make themselves better, to figure themselves out. 4th and 5th grade, I just want you to learn the game and love it. Shit, just love it. Like, let's just have some fun. All right, let's win some games. Let's try to start learning an offense a little bit. It's all good, right? 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Hey, you need to know this offense. You need to start being able to find yourself out here. You need to help encourage them to do that while you're still trying to win the game. That's what you should be talking to them about in practice, about how to be aggressive. I don't have a problem with any player being aggressive in this program because we teach them how to think. Hell, drive the basketball. I don't give a fuck. Drive it. Drive it as much as you want to. Make the right decision. 2 people stepped up. Kick it. Next.
Okay, then a year later, we get to 7th grade, okay? 7th grade, we just stack one more action, right, onto the same offense. So it might come across in 7th grade, wow, look at all this whole, no, all we just are adding is just one more thing, right? So we start on down screens, the ball gets passed, Lou's gonna screen away, first cut is butter. Yup, we keep screening, here's the second cut, which is a dribble handoff, right? Dribble handoff happens at the top. That don't work, we're passing the ball. Here comes the stagger screen, Lou's running off the stagger. If she was open, she'd shoot it, but if not, we add the next action, which is a ball screen in the middle of the floor, right? We got a screen roll. She could drive the ball into this double gap, stop. If not, we have a shake or a lift guy, right? Ready for a throwback. We got a roll, we got a lift, we got a drive and kick, we got space.
Right down, ball screen. Go.
Same idea, down screen.
There's a down screen.
Screen away. That's a butter. This is a handoff. Come on, Luke, hurry. Yup, out your hands. That's a stagger screen. Come on. Flip it, Luke. Catch it. There's a ball screen. There's a roll. There's a driving kick.
What's 8th grade?
8th grade, we stack one more thing to try to get them ready for when they turn into high school with us, which then gets into our pistol offense, right? So same idea, we're down screening, the ball gets passed, we're screening away, that's a butter cut, this is the handoff, this is the pass, that's the stagger screen, stop, that's the stagger screen, right here, stop, okay? In 7th grade, we flip this right away into a ball screen. In 8th grade, we want to introduce the idea of boomeranging the ball. So she would come off of the stagger and she catches it and she's giving it right back to CJ. That's what then triggers, move this ball screen right here. Stop, not you, him. Get out the way. So then here's the screen to roll, we got to pop, and we're playing. So the whole idea is we're trying to bridge the first thing that they're going to learn in high school at the end of 8th grade, right? So let's watch it one more time. When you come off the stagger, don't slow down. Catch it and go right back to him.
And go to the same side.
Like give it right back to him. Does that make sense? Come on, stagger, catch it. Yeah, and then get out of his way. Down screen, pass it. Screen away, that's a butter cut. Second one, this is a handoff. Good, that's a pass, that's a stagger. Here comes a stagger, and it's going boomerang right back to him. And then here's our ball screen.
All right, so that doesn't matter if it's our girls or if it's our boys, if it's our top team, if it's our 7th team. I don't play God here. I don't train a race. I don't train a religion. I don't know what the hell this kid's gonna turn into. I don't know what puberty's gonna do to him. So I can't sit there and say like, oh, you're on our 4th team. I'm gonna give you the 4th team offense. Oh, you're on my top team. Yeah, let me give you the good shit. Puberty and a driver's license changes all this shit up, period. Puberty and a driver's license. I can tell you about every person in all their classes about who might have been the best and who's not gonna be at signing day, who was better than them at their ages. Puberty and a driver's license. Some cologne, a little perfume, change this whole shit up. So I can't play God and just pick and choose who we're gonna train harder or not. This is the Youth Academy offense at every grade level, period. So don't make something up here where you feel like, oh, I got the 3rd, 6th grade team. Oh man, okay, yes. And work with them and get them better just like everybody else. Because I could give you 100 examples of a kid that was this age that went to our top team and our top team that went to the bottom. So it doesn't matter to us. And my girls get the same shit that my boys get. I don't train girls any different than boys. You can ask them. It's the same thing, man. And so if you come and you coach my girls like they're stereotypical girls, they're gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. Because that's not what they're used to. Ask them. I'm not saying that, oh, let's be super hard. I'm not saying that at all. Just coach the basketball and the kid in front of you. That's all I'm saying. Do we understand? But that is the Youth Academy offense. Now, tell me what you got written down. What you got? What's one of your things? Curl. Give me another thing. Say it. Speak. What? Drive and kick. Okay. What else? Stagger. Give me something else. What? Ball screen. Give me something else. Say it. Down screen. Handoff. Who said handoff? Handoff. Is that everything that you got? What you got? Buttercut. Yep. Curling. Okay. What did I tell you guys? This is a system. And so by the time they get to June of 8th grade, they have all of that. So they have these concepts so that when our freshmen get to tryouts, there's not really a bunch of them that the coach is going to say that they've never heard before. So then our kids are prepared. You have to literally get to our last 8th grade team and the second half of that team to find kids that don't make the freshman high school team. That's the pressure on my staff that I chart that shit. Because I don't want it to be subjective. Basketball's super subjective. You like him, I don't. We're both right. You like her, I don't. We're both right. Right? The weight room's not subjective. You jump 1 inch, you're jumping 3. You got better. Okay, so to make basketball objective, I send out a survey. It happens in January. Hey, how many of you guys that were 8th graders made your freshman team? I don't care what team, maybe sophomore, varsity, whatever. Yes, no, didn't try out. 99% made the team. When we charted who didn't, you had to go to the last team, and you had to go to the second half of that team to find kids that got cut. Am I happy? Probably not, but will I live with it? Okay. But it's because that's how I know that you did your job. So I'm telling you that your focus is to have fun with the kids, no doubt about it, right? Win games, no doubt about it. But damn, man, you have got to be able to anchor them in principles better. Look at what they're doing, and then this should be very simple on how it gets into these principles. It's just skill, principles, actions, reads. That's all basketball is. I don't care what your offense is. Skill, actions, principles, reads, and the last thing would be advantage, right? Find the advantage. We're going to use our skill to create an advantage. We're going to use this action to create an advantage. We're going to use this, right? That's it. We're just trying to create advantages, okay? So that is the Youth Academy. Now we go into high school, where now we flip everything up. Now notice everything that I told you before was trying to get them ready for what? High school? Okay, now once they get to high school, I'm no longer preparing them for high school. Because high school basketball and AAU basketball are two different things, period. So we can't scheme it the same way and be successful. And this is simple as it goes. How many days could you practice? She's a varsity coach. 6? Okay, I practice the most of any club in the state, and it's 3. So I got half the amount of time. How long are your practices? 2 hours. Ours are 90 minutes, so you could cut that down some, right? How many games will you play in a weekend? 1? Cool. I'm gonna play 4, 5, or 6. It's not the same thing. I'm gonna ask you a question, don't lie on yourself. You recruiting kids to your high school? But it's still a lot of rules that say that we can't. I can recruit every kid to our team. So every team I have, whether it's top shit, it's still an all-star team because I recruited them all there. You're not playing against all-star teams in high school. So in high school, you can close out like this because she can't shoot, he can't shoot. You do that shit in AAU, you're getting your ass flamed. So we have to have a different set of rules once you get to high school, differently than if they go play at their high school. But it's not about, oh, the high school sucks or we're better. It's not that. It's just two different total things. We have less time to practice, and we have to play against arguably maybe better put together teams. Does that make sense? So it's a different way. But what I needed to do in the youth academy was get you ready for high school, because you got to make the high school team. Now, our whole system is getting you prepared for college. Now it changes. Okay. Pistol.
Okay, so here comes the high school offense. Luke, start right there. He's there. She's all the way down there. Perfect. Yep, I love these guys. Okay, first things first.
Stop. Do you see how easily they transformed into this shit? This is what it looks like coming through our program. They can go from youth, they can go back to high school. Like, this is it. And this is why it was so simple for them to understand a whole nother offense, because it was still the same principles.
Okay, first things first. The name of the high school offense is called Pistol, right? We could have named it whatever we want. Could have named it M14 Hoops, right? Could have named it Andrew. It doesn't even matter, right? You can name it anything.
We should have named it Bill. Shit.
Okay, the idea and vocabulary behind pistol, right, is pistol is 3 people in 1 action. So what you've seen is, hey, a bunch of handoffs, right? A bunch of ball screens. Those are 2 people actions. Pistol to us means at the beginning we're gonna have a 3-person action. So there's 3 people that are involved, right? Please come back. So that's just vocabulary for you. Right? Now, in pistol, the first idea or principle of what we're doing when we bring the ball up the floor, stop, is next pass. You're going to hear this from youth all the way through high school. That means in transition, someone's open, throw them the ball. If they're not open, you have to make the decision not to throw them the ball. Okay? So you're going to hear us, or you guys be the ones yelling, hey, next pass, next pass, next pass. Does that mean throw it? If they're open, right? So one of these things in regards to turnovers, them learning is going to be, they're going to throw it to someone who's being guarded. And they're going to look at you and be like, you said next pass. Then your response is, but were they open? No. So you should have kept it, right? So this is how they learn. So in the idea of next pass, Lou is trying to get the ball ahead to CJ as fast as possible. This is what starts the boomerang idea. It goes back to him. Stop. Right? So this is the beginning of the 3rd-person action. First thing that should happen 3-4 times a game, she gets this and goes baseline.
Ooh, stop. That looks like a principle.
Yes, it does.
Crazy, isn't it? It doesn't matter what the offense is, it came back into the same principle. So then when you sit there with your team and you're like, hey, listen, I know you told baseline, let me tell you something that's really awesome. You got to look at the other side. And they look at you like, yeah, I know. Because new to you isn't new to them. Okay.
Okay, so let's say they got that and they're driving baseline, right? We obviously have baseline drive, baseline drip. Don't throw it, sorry. Ball's here, right? The next principle it's going to open up in high school or towards the end of youth is a 45 cut, which means this guy's cutting through the middle. So as we have baseline drive, we have baseline drive drift. If it's not a drift, you got a guy cutting from the 45 for a layup. So, awesome, go back. Yeah, up to the top. So this is obviously one action in regards to, hey, we received the boomerang, we could drive baseline because we got an advantage, that's awesome. Let's say it doesn't work. Lou throws it, we get the boomerang back. That triggers the next action, which is a flare screen for CJ. Flare screen, catch and shoot 3.
Holy shit, where's he at? Oh wow, that means he could drive in between the lane lines, and then we're right back into a principle. Shit's crazy. All right, keep going.
Right now, if he catches it and doesn't drive in between the lane lines, doesn't shoot it, that triggers the second side. Luke goes through, and we got a dribble handoff at the 45.
Fuck, man, this is nuts. Shit. So
Right
if she
now.
drove the ball, where should she look? Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's not about the offense, it's about the principles. It doesn't matter what offense you run. Basketball breaks down into principles. If you as the coach don't understand the principles, you can't help the player. So the number one thing I want you to take away tonight is the principles. The rest of the stuff you're going to learn as you go on the offense. We're not going to give you a bunch of quick hitters tonight. For what? I need you to learn what's most important. Keep going.
Okay, once Kylie receives the handoff, like he's saying, if she can drive underneath this elbow, that's her action to get the advantage to go drive and score. If that doesn't happen, she reverses the ball to the top. So that was side number 2. First side was the 3-man pistol. Second side was a dribble handoff. Now we're on side number 3, right? Something that happens all the time in basketball is the ball stays on one side of the floor. Then it gets thrown back to the top and goes back to the same side of the floor. Then it's thrown to the top and they still go right because everybody's right-handed. So what we're teaching is one side to the next side. Now if we're here, we're on side number 3. We're going to have a 45 to the top go screen is what we call it. So Lou's going to come up and act like she's screening and she's not. She's going to pop outside the 3-point line. So she's open for a shot, but also the go screen opens up a double gap for Evan Hackney to be able to drive the ball. And now we're into principle. You got drive and kick, you got baseline drive and drift, right? All of this space to be able to do something.
So understand this. Our youth academy, I want you to get the strong side reads, right? Drive it, kick it, baseline drive, baseline drift. Once you get to high school, we open up your reads. That just gave 3 options on one action. But it's high school now, so we need to open it up. So as long as you and the youth academy can get the preliminary one, the strong side read, then once we get to high school, we can teach them about reading the different actions now. That ultimately, what I tell you I want them to get ready for. What's our high school? I'm trying to prepare you for what? College. Awesome. So now that's going to make everybody look good. Watch. Go through slowly. Boom. Okay. Cool. So wow, he knows how to do that. We know how to do that. Wow, he knows how to move without the ball. Woo, she could attack that. Cool, that's coming there. Drive it. Stop. Now he's got the ball, but they're recruiting him. So he knows not to lift because that will bring your defender to him, and that's stupid. So Evan drives it. So stop. They're recruiting Evan. Man, he could drive the basketball. Look at a finishing move, skill work. He could Euro step. He could do a bump Euro. He could do all that skill stuff there, right? And we gave him space to operate. Or he throws it out to Lou. Damn, she knows how to slip a screen, and look, she can stretch the floor. I can make every kid recruitable in this offense, whether they touch the ball or not. That's what's important because they automatically have to do these different movements, and whoever they're coming to watch, they look good anyway. Go, and let's go to the 4th side. This is the first side. This is second side. This is third side.
Here's the go screen. Cool.
Stop.
It's not
Throw
open.
the loop.
The ball's thrown back to the top, right? So if we tried that action, it didn't work. We did the first ghost, it didn't work. Now it's here. We just played over there. Now we need to play on this side. On this side, we're cutting through. So Kylie's gone. The next thing we're going to do is a top to 45 ghost. So she passes the ball here. She's going to come act like she's screening, and she's not, right? That could open up this double gap. That could force some confusion, which could have a throwback to her for a shot. Right? If we don't have that, we're right into principles of CJ doing what? He could drive the ball middle, underneath the elbow. We're right back to everything that we just talked about. Right? Now, if that doesn't work and they can guard this action, it's fine. We pass the ball and we're right back to the same continuity. He comes and sets this ghost. He's coming. Cool. He goes outside here. Cool. Didn't work. Ball's out of here. He's gone. That's a pass. Here's a ghost right here. Boom. That one didn't work. Cool. Ball's passed. Damn, ball's passed up here. Here's our next ghost. Come on. She's coming. Awesome. We throw the ball back. Cool. He's gone. Here's our next ghost. Get out of here. Pass the ball. Here's the next one. Boom. That doesn't work. Cool. He's coming to set this one. Stop. Yes. Then we're out of here. Here's the continuity of it. So we can keep going. Right? Someone is going to say, hey, on the ghost, they're always popping. So we get nothing going to the rim. Yes, I understand. There's another thing that we would say in regards to ghosting, which is slipping to the basket. So we could have the exact same types of actions and still stay in the principles. Let me show you. Go back to the top. Come on, come on. And we go. Ball's passed, goes back to her. We set the screen. There's the flare. He's through. Here's the DHO. Here's the pass. Stop. Here's the first ghost. She not a popper. She not a shooter. It's fine. She can ghost this straight to the rim. Stop. If that ain't open, here's the lift. Stop. Notice how she's filling out that side. Everybody's lifting. Cool. Kylie gets the ball here. He goes through. Now we have a pass. And we're like, stop. Kylie ain't a shooter. She pops outside three, ain't gonna work. So she could slip to the rim. So here's your ghost to the rim. If she's open, awesome. If she's not, she clears out. Cool, ball gets reversed. He's coming to come set this ghost. He slips to the rim. It's totally fine, right? Then she would lift, he would clear out. The ball keeps moving, she's gone.
Stop.
Here's the next one.
All right, so this would be a lot if every single season in a new season, we had to learn a new offense, right? That's a bunch. That's the European system of club development. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, run the same 50 offense, we just add one thing on. 9th, 15, 16, 17, you run the same basic offense because there's so many reads, we gotta help them understand that all the way through their whole progression being here. But it makes it easier, so when all of a sudden you get a 16U team, you get a 17U team, they've already done it. So now we're just helping them play in their identity, which helps them be more recruitable or get more time at their high schools. That's the entire system, but it's anchored in principles, and at the top of the mountain of translation is the bottom of teams, and then we build from there. Done. Baseline out of bounds. Anytime out of that offense, what we say, there's 5 things. We're talking about read, we're talking about principle, we're talking about skill, we're talking about action, we're talking about advantage. So anytime they get an advantage, we're not in the offense anymore, we're just in the principles. Anytime they use their skill and broke somebody down using an individual move, we're not in the offense anymore. We're in the principles. So there's no way that somebody should be like, go reset it up, reset it up. No, we shouldn't. They should just play in principles now. Now you're just in skill, reads, advantage, actions. But we're not in the layer of offense anymore. That's over with now. The moment somebody uses skill or the moment somebody finds an advantage because of the action, yo, you're in the principles now. We're in the drive and kick. Now we just got to play. Our kids know how to play, though. And they know how to play because you're here tonight. Because you're the person that's going to help them learn how to play better. Not just run the plays. We're going to go baseline, sideline, zone, and we got to show you a press breaker. There's just a couple things we got to show you just so you take away from this stuff. Very quick.
Box post, correct? Very simple. Okay, box post. We start in a box set. Everybody's facing this way. All right, once the ball is handed to the inbounder, both people are going to go screen across. These two don't move until the screen happens, right? Once we screen across, they're both running outside the three-point line. Box post means screen, seal, drop the ball to them, lay the ball.
100% of the time, that is going to be open, and I don't know why. I am not lying to you. 100% of the time, that shit is open. It's fucking crazy.
The idea behind it is we expect AAU teams to be like us, or we're expecting the highest form, right, of defenses, right, against screening actions. So in the NBA playoffs, the thing that happens the most is switching, right? So when Luke is coming to set this screen, we're understanding that this is about to be a switch. So it goes screen, seal, we should drop the ball, and they either get a layup or they get fouled 99, 100% of the time, right?
If we ran 2, he screens, run 2, go, they screen, go all the way out, Evan, throw it to Evan, reverse to Lou, Evan gets CJ, real simple, right? Or we'll run reverse, all that stuff. Guys, I'm not about to show you a bunch of baseline and sideline out of bounds. You will learn that stuff in practice, okay? We keep it very simple. One of the reasons why we don't do a bunch of those is just because Andrew doesn't like to. Because I was like, yo, we need to do a bunch of baselines out of bounds. He's like, dude, you're going to do it 5 times a game. Why the fuck are we wasting time on that? I was like, shit, you're right. All right, cool. So we keep it simple with baseline out of bounds. All right, there's nothing crazy about it. A lot of this stuff you're just going to learn during practice. Cool? Fair enough? Awesome. Sideline, real quick. I'm not going to bore you with that stuff, guys. Like, oh, there's some awesome baseline out of bounds plays or something. Like, come on, man.
Okay. Sideline out of bounds. If we're talking youth teams, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, right? We all have the same call for sideline out of bounds all the way through, 4th through high school. It's called drive, right? Stolen from Western Michigan Drive, because all this stuff is stolen from everybody anyways, right? So, in regards to drive, 4th, 5th grade, okay, we're just looking for an action. Simplest thing that happens, the ball gets handed to CJ, these two turn at the block, Lou runs all the way through from one corner to the other corner. The ball gets thrown, and we get a wide open three-pointer because of one action, okay? So that would be number 1, okay? This is called drive. You get to high school, all right, we have to take it a step further, okay? One step further in drive is we're using this as a decoy, right? It's familiar, false action. So once he's handed the ball, we're setting the screens. Lou's running, stop. As soon as Lou gets past Luke, who's the first screener, Luke is running as fast as he can right to the top of the key. Lou's still going, right? Stop. What we're expecting is we're running a sideline out of bounds, and the team that we're going up against sees that our point guard is there by themselves. The number one thing you hear from the sidelines before the ball is inbounded is, hey, get up, don't let her catch. Yo, deny that, which is exactly what we want. So generally what you'll see is, hey, they'll be all the way like this, like, yo, I'm not going to let her catch the ball, she's the only one. All right? Once Luke comes, right, to receive the first catch, it's a blind pig and she's cutting back, right? So there's a bounce pass, she's got a layup, or she's got a one more to Evan. Let's run it back. Let's do it again. Right? Same idea. It's called drive. Right? Once he gets the ball, they go. Right? We're denying here. It goes like this. And then we back cut it.
Done. Cool. Awesome. Pressing. Press breaker. Here's the thing. All right? It's AAU basketball. You're going to have to be able to deal with zones, and you're going to have to deal with presses. If you can't deal with zone and presses, you're probably going to lose. I mean, that's it. Like, just, we could talk about killing them in the half court and all that shit, but it's the wild, wild west. They're going to get up in you. They're going to press you like crazy. Hell, we're going to do the same thing, right? So this is, it does not matter what the press is. 1-2-2, 2-2-1, diamond. It doesn't matter. This is how you beat it. And I'm going to give you guys a video that's going to show you that. It's just a real quick snippet of it, right?
Okay, in regards to press breaker, it's called 4 across. Obviously, 4 people across the free throw line, right? First thing we want to do is we want to fake and run to the ball. Ball gets passed in, stop. If you notice, out of these 5, tallest, longest player is generally in this first spot. Because why? They can generally see over what's about to happen, which we all understand is probably going to be a trap, right? Once the ball is passed in, it triggers 3 spots. First spot is back. Second spot is ahead. So Luke is running to the ahead, right? The third spot is the middle. So Kylie is running to the middle of the floor. So you got a back, you got an ahead, and you got a middle. Generally, when this trap is starting to come, it's going to be catch, ahead, throw it. Then it goes middle, and we're still running. And we have a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2 for a layup. That would be A. Come on back, hurry, hurry, hurry. Now, if we talk about teams, right, that are well known in pressing, the thing that you'll hear them say is don't get beat the same way twice, right? So once the ball is passed to Evan, they'll be like, hey, they look at the ahead, take that away. That's why we would immediately go to the middle. Once we go middle, it goes ahead. She keeps running to continue playing, goes back to the middle, and we get to play and go score. So generally, we still have a 3-on-1.
you have to know this, like, at every grade level. And what he didn't do was, CJ, pass the ball to Evan. Throw it right back to CJ. We didn't do that. And that's the problem. And that's what you do all the time. Stop. You always have to have an ahead, a middle, and a back. Yes, for safety, for sure. But dude, we have got to go get the ball to the middle and the ahead, and then it's beat. If you can't beat that pressure, they're just gonna stay on you the whole time. The whole thing about AAU is generally teams have 2 cycles of things they can do. They're coming out with their best one, right? If it's man, if it's a press, whatever it is, that's the best thing they do all the time, right? If you beat that, they could do a second thing. If you beat the second thing, they're done. They don't have a third and a fourth and a fifth. Now, does that mean they're terrible coaches, terrible program? No. Think about what coach just told me. I practice the most in high school, right? 3 days a week. What does everybody generally do? 2 or none. So you just don't have time to get this next rotation of things, of adjustments and all that stuff to make. So you have to be able to beat that first thing that they do. And you're going to be able to tell the first thing they do in the first 2 minutes of the game. But you have to beat it. Now notice, I didn't say beat the press. I mean go score. Beat the press. Get them out of it. Now what's the second thing they'll do with their man? Go zone. Cool. So you got to beat the zone. You beat the zone, the game's over. And as simple as that, right? And we're going to go 100-0 this season and all that shit. But I love that. Here we go. I'll be the one to mess it up too. I'm going to go 0-50.
The only thing I'll add is, right, 4 across is generally used against zone presses, 1-2-2, 2-2-1, right? If we're in a 4 across situation and they're in man-to-man, this takes you all the way back to your training progression, which means he cuts to the ball, he catches it, and it's man-to-man. So everybody should get out of the way. And he should be able, against the same position that guards him, if we did our job, to dribble the ball through the entire court, be able to change directions, right? Be able to bring the ball serviceably against his position. So if he's a 5-man, he should be able to serviceably dribble against a 5-man. I'm not saying that our big should dribble it up against their best defender who's a point guard. If that's the case, hey, you just run your point guard back, they get the ball, everybody clears out. But if we did our job on them growing up, the idea is what? They should be able to bring it up, right? One-on-one.
Awesome. Okay, so that's that. We'll do zone, and then we'll do film, and then we're done. Cool? Y'all still with me? Everything's great? We're cool. Yes? Awesome. Like I said, guys, we're not trying to get super deep on this. We just want you to get an understanding, right, of how deep the pool is. But just know that in practice, we're just going to keep on building on to on. Right? So it's not like it's got to be something where you're lost. We just want to show you everything that you're going to get, so you just understand, again, the principles. What's the principles of our press breaker? I need a back, I need a middle, I need an ahead. That's it. That's the principle. It's very simple, right? We get into a half-court offense. Hey, man, we're into driving kicks if the advantage happens and presents itself through some action. If all of a sudden they're just passing, we should get an action then, because we don't have an advantage. What we shouldn't do is just catch it and chuck it up there, and you're like, great shot, let's go, get back. Like, whoa. Guys, let's get an action and we can get you that shot next time or something, right?
Zone offense. First thing you're looking for is X. That'd be the name of our offense, right? It's dealt in principles. The principles are there's 2 places against a zone that make the zone the most vulnerable. First place, number 1, is the middle, okay? Everybody generally knows that. The second place, which is the most underused place in the entire floor, is the short corner, right? So when we have X, we have a 3-out, 2-in look. The ball gets passed. Once the ball gets passed, it triggers the X. We got a short corner, we got a middle flash, right? Generally, everybody looks middle, and everybody's like, dang, the middle's not open. And then the ball gets reversed. The ball gets reversed, and we X out. This guy goes short corner, Luke goes to the middle. And then everybody looks to the middle and they're like, hey, it's not open, so we have to reverse it again. I'm telling you, the secret is here, right? The goal is to drop the ball to the short corner as much as you can. That triggers a dive. That also triggers skip passes for 3s, right? So if we were to skip it out to Lou, that then triggers another X. Luke goes short corner and Evan's coming to the middle. You got another one right there. That triggers a dive, we got a layup, but we also have principles of moving without the ball, right? So that would be our zone offense, which is X, right? I'm telling you, the more times your team throws the ball to the short corner, the better you're going to be, and the more we're going to look at you like, yup, he gets it, right? But a lot of the time what happens is against the 2-3 zone, the middle person will just guard the middle the whole time. So then we'll make the pass, we're looking middle, and we're like, well, the middle's not open. Yeah, because one guy's guarding it. You want to be able to drop the ball to that short corner, and then people can play, right? Stop. Now there's also I don't know what the term is, stereotype in regards to, hey, I don't want to be in these two spots because I'm not a big. Yes, right? So in the youth academy, we ain't saying the words, hey, play big. Hey, you're the bigs. No, these are playmaking spots. So even though I'm a point guard, I'd argue that I want to be here because the way I can make plays is the ball gets thrown to here and I'm receiving the pass here and I have to make the decision. Don't do it. I have to make the decision. Is the scoring action this cut or this dive, is the scoring action a skip for a 3? If it's not, it can still turn into principles. Principles of what? He can drive the ball baseline. That does that to her. That moves him. We got a shot there. We got one more there. So it still turns into the same ideas. If not, and the ball is thrown to Kylie, right? And the short corner is taken and we throw it to the middle. I'm going to say the same thing to you. This is the playmaking spot. So he has to decide, is this dive open? If it's not, he could drive the ball this way. That triggers that. That triggers that. Everything is made out of short corner and middle, right? So your job is to make your team, make your group comfortable and excited being like, no, I want these two spots. Because generally, it's the spots that are shied away from. They're like, no, I need to be outside because I'm not a post player. I'm not a big, right? But look at their job. Their job is to just space and shoot open shots, right? So these two spots are extremely important. Does that make sense? I got time, so we might as well go to, if they do a odd man front, so how about you go there, you go here, go to that corner. Odd man front means 1-2-2, it means 3-2, it means 1-3-1, right? That type of zone defense. So not a 2-3, we're talking odd man front. 1-2-2, 3-2, same thing. 1-3-1, right? We would then change our offense. Instead of X, we call it X1 because that's saying it's an odd man front, right? We have two people offsetting the top person, right? Generally, the basketball is on the right side and our shooter is in the corner, okay? What triggers is the ball gets thrown over, right? And we have two screens. Luke screens for Lou first, Evan screen in second, right? So we have a shooter that's running baseline. If that doesn't work, it triggers our next two spots. So if Kylie throws it to Lou and Lou's not open, that triggers a short corner. It also triggers the middle, right? So same idea. Now we're in these playmaking spots. If that doesn't work, the ball skipped out to Kylie. Now the ball is reversed back to CJ. We're screening across. Awesome. We're flashing middle. We're dropping to the short corner, right? These are the weaknesses against 1-2-2 as well as 1-3-1. Make sense? So against 2-3s, you'll hear, or the phrases as coaches will keep hearing you guys say is, find the short corner, drop it to Luke, get it to the short corner, right? These are the words they're going to keep saying. Find the middle, find Evan in the middle, right? The other spot against a 1-3-1, against a 1-2-2, against an odd man front in X1 is going to be the ball has to get to a corner. So we're adding the third spot, corner, or a short corner, or a middle. Those are the three spots where we can attack against a 1-3-1, a 1-2-2, right? Biggest issue I see in that is you guys are saying those words, corner, short corner, middle, and then what happens the entire time? Throw it that way. Throw it that way. Now throw it that way. This is the problem. It's a bunch of, hey, I don't want to take on the pressure, and I'm just throwing the ball to the next closest person, but look at what she's doing. She's over here like, what the hell is going on? I'm trying to get, okay, well, can you give me a second, right? Then you gave her a second. After that, that's still not long enough, because once she gets there, then he's moving. Then he's moving, right? And sometimes instead of her, it goes right to him. Once it hits him, that triggers the dive. That triggers a shot in the corner. That triggers CJ moving that way. We got a drive and kick. So these are the playmaking spots overall. Does that make sense?
Good. Awesome. Last thing we're doing, we'll just be out in concession, then we're done. Just grab all your stuff. Let's go. All right. This is not meant to take long. We are just going to see some of these things in real live play and in no specific order. All right. This is high school. It's pistol. What play is that at high school? Special. We started going over special in high school, right? Yes? All right, so this is just the snap option out of special. Like I said, guys, this is not in any specific order at all. This is what it ends up looking like. Awesome. Let's see this one, what it has for us. Again, this is our high school stuff we're showing. Oh, look at that. So my point is that while every college coach is like, man, look at Jonah Hinton and how he really uses the baseline, what you guys know is the secret. We teach them to do this and how to read it. This is just an example of how fast we play, and we're fine with that, people. I don't want you guys to get into this whole thing that because we sit there and use the word system, that it takes you to, oh, suburban, slow, and all that. That's not what I mean. I just mean that in basketball, you have to play out of something, right? But we're going to play fast, and we're going to shoot the open shots, period. Like, we don't mind doing that, not one bit. What was that? What was it? It looks like an action into a principle. There's an action, there's a principle. So you could narrow this down to the youth level when we get them ready for high school. The high school coaches are like, damn, man, that kid really can play. We know it's because we taught them how to play. That's the whole thing that I need to get across to you guys. We have to teach them how to play, but with that, don't try to turn into something that you're not. Some of you guys, this is your first year coaching. That's okay. That's fine. Some of you guys been coaching for a while. Either one, relax. I don't need the veteran coaches to come out and all of a sudden just show up and throw up everything that you know about basketball. Easy. Just keep it right where we're at. You younger coaches that you're just first going, that's cool. Both of you, just rely on our system. Just rely on the principles and just repeat those things, right? The whole goal is, can we start having them look? Let's see here. We're watching offense. This is why 45 dives work. That's all I want to show you. When Coach Andrew was talking about baseline drive and then we want a 45 dive, look at the right corner, boom. That is why we teach a 45 dive. We just play out of principles. Like, these girls all just got together and only 2 of them have been in the program before. So in 3 days, they learned how to end up where to look. Okay, I drive middle, that's my look. Not to shoot a terrible shot. I don't care if the shot goes in. If we get this many good looks, we'll win more than we lose, right? It's a make-miss game, guys, right? But it's the type of shots that we're getting that's important, okay? If we end up in a situation, Let me see, what's this one look like? No, that's defense. I don't want to show you defense yet. Nope, that's defense. I don't want you to see defense yet. Nope, that's defense. I don't want you to see defense yet. Okay. This situation, I'd be okay for our youth academy. If your stuff looked like this would be, we would be smiling. Just driving kicks. Look at this, we're making the right reads, driving kicks. Like, man, this is really good principles. And we're using a little bit of skill. Then we use skill when we finish, yes? Now, at the high school level, or even if this ends up happening to you, you can just say one simple thing. I need some action, right? Like, we couldn't get an advantage here. So this isn't super awesome at the high school level, especially when we have a shot clock to play with, but we got no actions here. I got one kind of half-ass go screen. Other than this, what action are we getting? Are we getting any pin downs? Are we getting any handoffs? Are we getting any ball screens? Are we getting any staggers? Are we getting anything? Right? Well, that's why we're not getting any shot right now, because all we're using is principle. We're not really even using skill because we didn't beat anybody. So now we haven't created any advantage until we then decide to use some skill. Right? So if you look at basketball through that lens of reads, which is IQ, actions, which we know are staggers or ball screens or handoffs, right? Pin downs, curls, right? There's actions, right? Principles, driving kicks, straight line, strong side drive, strong side drift, 45 middle, look opposite, baseline drive, baseline drift, and then advantages. We have to use skill, action to get an advantage. We get an advantage, we get right into principle, and we get the good shot. That's the whole idea. What I need you to just understand is just that shit exists, guys. Like, that's the biggest thing I need you to take away, that it's not just something that you just showed up and like, cool, I got a nice little fourth grade team. Like, dude, we have to get something accomplished. What is that? Make them learn it and love it, man. Have some fun. Like, that's what we really want. We want you guys to enjoy coaching your team. Learn the names, high five them more, interact more, right? It's okay. You're not going to know all this stuff, guys. Literally, this has been my life's work. What was you doing 14 years ago? Because I was sitting on my ass in a damn hotel room writing all this shit down. Facts. So I don't expect you to know this tomorrow. That's not the point of this. I just need you to know that, hey, you have a job to do, because when you have this team this year, maybe next year you're handing it off to somebody else, right? And as long as they got certain things accomplished, cool. If they got exposed to it and you said it, cool. They're still kids. They still might not have it, right? But just don't think that they play here this season and then they're done. Chris Sugar started here when he was in 5th grade, because I was running his class, and played all the way through 17U. So you can't show up here and just be like, okay, yeah, I got somebody. Like, yo, they done been here, man. They might know more about this system than you. So just come with a little bit of humility, but just enjoy it. But more than that, please be professional, because all of that stuff matters, because nobody's here for free. Ain't no volunteers here. We paying you, right? And you guys are great, and we love you, and it's all of us versus everybody else, 100%. We got your backs, right? But I need you guys to do the job, which is being professional, right? I need you to watch what you're saying to the kids and not just trying to overcoach them, because knowing that, hey, they might come back here and do training with us for 8 months, right? So you have to understand that. I need you to show up and be dependable, okay? And then just follow and practice, man, and just listen, right? Those you guys that are coming back for a second and third and a fourth time, challenge yourself to get a little bit better. Those you guys, it's your first time, just stay in your box, man. It's all good. We got you, right? The kids are super excited to have you. The parents are super excited to have you. We are super excited to have you. I am super excited to have you. That shit means a lot, man, right? Because our staff busts our ass to get this many players here, to get this many teams. Newsflash, people, there's 62 of them. There's 62 teams. And there's another 500 kids training. We can't get to that unless you do a good job. And you just got here. So there were people that did a good job 3 years ago or 4 years ago, right? So all we're asking you to do, man, is just stay professional, be dependable, right? And learn something. That's all, right? Have some fun with the kids and don't let analysis turn into paralysis. Like, shit, I don't know this principle, I shouldn't say something. Just come on, man, say something, right? Drive the ball, be aggressive, like, say something. Do we understand? But so we should see some more smiles this week. We should see some more interaction with your teams this week. We should see you getting your hands a little bit more dirty, high-fiving, right? Doing those type of things, talking more, okay? We want to see more this week because it's the next week. That's it. We get through this week, the following week, we don't have practice. We smartened up. We gave off spring break, right? Only my team is practicing and shit. It's all good. Then we come back that first week of April, then that's all we got. Then we start playing. Then it's gone, right? And this shit goes by fast. We should have some gear coming in, hopefully that first week of April, right? We ordered you guys all the stuff, so don't worry, man. We look good, top to bottom, coaches, players, all that shit. So you ain't worry about none of that stuff, right? So when we give you the gear, wear it, right? Like that's not optional. I don't want to see nothing else in here. Wear the gear, okay? When we're on the sidelines, we wear the gear, okay? When we're at games, we support each other, right? We go sit on each other's benches. We do those type of things, man. That's what makes it awesome being part of this club, right? So I will leave it there. I 100% appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Dead ass. Really, really do, okay? I hope this was beneficial on some level of whatever your takeaways might be, okay? But please remember, I'm not expecting you to be Bill, TP, Andrew. This is their full-time jobs. We don't expect you to come in and be that. I just expect you to come in and just do the things that we're asking you to do at the best of your ability. Be coachable yourself because we're going to give you feedback, right? But it's not about you, it's about the kids. Let's just always remember that. We understand? Hands up. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.